Are you guys ready for your first comic? Alright, so coming to the stage is a friend of mine. I didn't know what to expect when I first met this guy, and he's became a great friend of mine. He's hilarious, and I really don't know what else to say because he will speak for himself. His name is Nathan Kuhn. Everyone welcome Nathan Kuhn to the stage.
That was a bit much. You guys don't know nothing about to suck up here. I'd like to start by giving a shout out to all the dudes who drive around with a couple American flags tucked in their tailgates. Rock on, dudes. Seriously, I think if it weren't for those guys, we might have been invaded by Mexico by now. How's everybody liking the summer? It seems like it's finally milding out. You know what summer is great for? Bitching about winter. Just don't. That's coming up right around the corner after these 2 weeks of fall we're about to get. Midwest winters are really great for freezing the hair and the nose, aren't they? And actually, that's not even the worst one. I think guys, and maybe some women, you ever go outside in the winter and it's so cold that it freezes the moisture in your beard? Like, you know that it's really cold then, especially if you haven't had a shower recently, it's just freezing the oils. Then you know it is cold and dry. Drier than the female audience of the comedy show. Prove me wrong, meet me after the show. You need to go up? I need to go up a little higher? Okay.
Get to the mic.
All right. I thought that's what I was doing. Every winter, from time to time, there you go. Every winter, from time to time, I'll get the same morbidly curious thought. I wonder how close I am to the nearest frozen hobo. You know? Which of these dumpsters do I have to look around to get a peek of a fresh, road-salted, liver-flavored Vietnam vegetable? I actually had a situation a few months back. I was at a bar, and a homeless lady came in and started asking people for money. And there weren't many people in the bar, and I was nearest to the door, so I was an easy mark. And so she started asking me if I might have some change I could spare. And meanwhile, the bartenders started asking her if she might get the fuck out, basically, because she was making them uncomfortable. I'll admit, I was a little uncomfortable myself, but not because she was homeless or because I didn't want to give her money. I had money and I wanted to give her some, but I was uncomfortable because I was pretty sure that all of my money was in $20 bills. And as much as I like to think I'm a generous guy, I'm not blowing any smoke up my own ass. Like, to me, giving money to the homeless should be like getting a burger at a fast food joint. It shouldn't cost you more than about $5. And yeah, sure, it's not the healthiest expenditure of funds either, but it does make me feel good temporarily. Just so long as I don't think about what my money's actually going to support. That's always tough, right? Because like you see a guy in the street with a fake leg and a few plastic bags. He's got a cardboard box and a sign pretty clearly written by his dog based on the handwriting. And you say, God damn it, you know what? I will give this guy some money, you know? He clearly deserves a better life than he's got right now, and even if he's faking it, shit, he's out here in the Midwest winter, just suffering through it for the entrepreneurial spirit of the whole thing. God bless this guy right here. Homeless, not homeless, you can have some of my money, dude. You reach in your pocket, and you pull out your money, and the smallest you got is a 10, you go, shit. Now I gotta determine whether or not looking like a decent person is worth $10 to me. Hey man, you got any change? 5 and 5 ones maybe? I think asking a homeless person for change, even if you're an atheist, probably creates a hell and sends you there immediately. Like, you asked a bum if he could split a 10, it's kind of like stabbing a dude and then going, excuse me, do you have the time? You don't have much time now, do you, bitch? So yeah, I was at this bar, and the bartenders were trying to bounce this transient lady, and the whole thing felt kind of creepy. And it sucks to be powerless to help someone in that situation, but it really got me thinking, because there's a ton of social issues people want to solve, but I think I've found a way to attack two at the same time. First, obviously, being homelessness. This is a problem we all encounter, you know, sometimes at bars even. Although, in that case, it's kind of a mulligan, because then the bartender throws them out and you get to dodge the bullet. You can thank your lucky stars people are going to look back and remember the bartender as the asshole rather than you, for not forking over the $5 you were just going to use on gas station puppy chow anyway. This is the Midwest. We know a thing or two about obesity here. Like, I had a health teacher in school who was, to put it generously, catastrophically obese. And something like 2/3 of the population is overweight, which is related to heart plaque, liver disease, joint stuff, blunt stuff, lung stuff, bad stuff, all kinds of things that'll harsh your mellow. But here's my idea. I think we can use our obesity epidemic to combat our homeless epidemic. And by that I mean we'll have fat people fight hobos in iron cage death matches. It's good, right? Because just based on that premise alone, you still have no idea how it's going to go. It's up in the air. There's plenty of factors to consider. Like, is this California homeless or Midwest homeless? Like, has this guy had to scrounge through Denny's dumpsters looking for some diner dinner in winters with temps that'll put frostbite on your foreskin? And fat guy, is this like an old lifetime of accumulation fat guy, or is this a young purebred donut demolisher? Honestly, in either case, my bet's on whoever ate most recently. Although I will give the edge to the hobo if he's recently had a cigarette, because nothing gives tramps a second wind quite like hated nicotine. On a related note, actually, within the last year, a bit regrettably, I have picked up a small cigarette habit. When I say small cigarette habit, I don't mean I've been smoking small cigarettes. I didn't pilfer a pack of Pall Malls from the Polly Pocket Playhouse. I just don't smoke enough to really consider myself a real smoker. And I don't buy packs, really, so real smokers actually consider me a real bummer. But, I'll groan all you want. But it's something I gotta keep an eye on, because obviously cigarettes do come with their downsides. Not least of which is you have to deal with the anti-smoking people, and they're the worst. Like, it's not bad enough that they're not as cool, but what, they're gonna spend millions of dollars on a campaign just to try to stop you taking the edge off, too? Don't they know 9 out of 10 doctors recommend Marlboro? Sorry, I know that probably ruffles a few feathers. It sounds like I'm minimizing or something. But I just don't find their arguments valid. Like, they'll say things like, well, Nathan, have you ever seen pictures of a smoker's lungs? And yes, thank you. I've been through elementary school. I went to those assemblies. And I'll admit, the lungs were pretty gross. But probably the grossest part about them was they were outside the person's fucking body at the time. You know, I think whether or not you smoke's kind of irrelevant if they had to physically remove your organs, guys. Probably not their best day ever. Cut them a little slack. Like, it's not that the black shit on the lungs isn't gross, but you're not about to turn me off smoking so much as you can turn me off disembowelment. And again, I didn't want to end up like that particular smoker either. I got you. I'm trying to end up like my grandpa. Dude smoked every day of his life and died in his sleep at 94. I mean, normally I think that's a good thing, but I think if he'd been awake, he probably could have escaped a house fire. Incidentally, he started with the butt of his own cigarette. So of course, his lungs were going to look black. But, you know, I don't even know why we're judging lungs based on looks anyways. You can't see them. Like, I wish as a society we could get over that frankly shallow bias. Like, I've hung out with some shallow dudes in my time, but none of them has ever pointed out a girl to me and gone, she's pretty dude, but she's got some ugly fucking lungs on her. Like, also, none of my friends is Clark Kent, so maybe unless you've got x-ray vision, just pipe down about whether or not someone's organs are hot or not. But the anti-smokers remain adamant. They say things like, well, you know you're taking years off of your life. You know every cigarette takes 7 minutes off your life. And again, fair enough, sure, but think about it. It's only taking the years off at the end of your life. It's not going to steal your fucking childhood. It's just going to shave off a few of those useless elderly years. You know? Like the days you're popping morphine during medication roulette, deciding which of your grandkids are about to boot from the wheel for shits and giggles. Or maybe you're puttering around the old folks' home, and you're trying to determine whether or not today is the day that you finally man up, comb over your toupee, slather your cock and coleslaw, wobble next door and see if dementia Darla will take out her teeth and gum you down. Give you the good old Tuesday afternoon special. Yeah, that extra tingle is the stomach acid she can't quite keep in her stomach. I know, fucking disgusting, right? But think about it, cigarettes could prevent you from having to deal with these experiences firsthand. Just puff the worst years away. I've actually, I wrote that bit a few years ago, and since then I've had the displeasure of working at an old folks home. And it's nowhere near as funny or as interesting as that. Mostly it's just frustrating and depressing. Obviously it's depressing because you have to watch these people fall apart physically and mentally in front of you. And you have to have a heart, and you stay there long enough, you have to develop real empathy for them. But it's frustrating too, because no matter how much empathy you may have, or how much you may come to love this little old lady, upon the 12th time, hearing that her cinnamon roll is fucking raw in the middle, when it is fucking not in the middle, you will want to swap out her diabetes meds with laxatives. Although that really only punishes the CNAs. But it's not like they don't deserve it. They know what they did. All those times they stole pills and didn't share them with me. The job wasn't all bad though. It had its perks. Like the days I got to serve dementia Darla that coleslaw. Mouth of an angel, that lady. I've been Nathan Kuhn, guys. Enjoy the rest of your show. I told him I was going to go to the full 12 and I didn't. So he's actually, yeah.